So they say the irony of grief is that the person you want to talk to the most is the person who's not here. So my guest today is Dolly Fernandez. Dolly has not lost one person, but lost two people in her lives. And she's here to share how she is dealing with that grief, but has come out as a winner and really lives her life to as full as she can. So Dolly, welcome to our show.
Thank you, Alka. Thank you for having me.
So Dolly, tell me, when did your life change forever for the first time?
Well, this all happened in 2016, and it was just that one fateful day. My son had gone with his family for a camping trip with his friends, and at that trip, they had an episode where a child was drowning, and my son went in to save that kid. He got the kid on the boat, but he didn't make it. So that day just changed our whole life.
Wow. And how old was he?
He was 37.
Oh my God.
And in his prime, in health and profession and family life. He has twins, a boy and a girl.
Wow.
They were at that time around 4 years old.
Wow.
And now they're almost 7.
Of course.
Yeah.
When you got that call, right? What was your reaction? Did you believe it? Were you like, that can't be the truth?
When I got that call, it was just like someone was just saying it, and I couldn't believe it. My son was a young, healthy, a fighter. He'd always been a sports person. So when they said that he didn't come back out in the lake, I just couldn't believe it. It was just not, correct, I felt. So we were supposed to leave the next morning because they called me in the evening. I couldn't get a flight that night. That whole night I was pacing up and down and praying and, hoping for the best. And when you went to that place, the lake, it was a huge lake. And then they had these search teams that were looking for him because they hadn't found him yet. And it took them 3 days to find him.
Wow.
And I sat on that lake for 3 days waiting for them to find him. And it was the hardest 3 days of my life.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Please. There you go.
Sorry.
No, please. I'm not expecting this to be easy on you today. So when you were sitting there, right, as a mom on the lake every day thinking, today maybe they'll find him and he'll be okay and he'll have just gone ashore somewhere. Is that what going through your
Exactly.
mind?
Exactly. There was an island, and I just prayed that maybe he went to that island and he was there and somebody would find him. That didn't happen.
And when is this a child that they knew, or
Yes.
was it?
Yes, it was one of the family members that they went for the trip with.
Wow, their son has been saved, but your son is
Right. So the child's father was also in the boat,
Oh.
but he didn't know how to swim. So
Oh.
my son's last words were that I'll get him. So he just jumped to get the child. And I heard later on that father of that child has been through a lot of trauma himself because he feels very guilty. He was not able to help my son.
right.
So it was just a very unfortunate tragedy.
Yeah, but your pain didn't stop with your son, right?
It did not. I was like a wreck, and after 2 months, my husband would actually not talk about my son because he said, I don't want to talk about it because men are different. He would not talk. And I guess he just kept it in his heart. And exactly 2 months later, he had a brain aneurysm and my husband passed away.
Wow. I remember watching on Facebook. I remember watching one funeral and then watching another one. And I'm thinking, what is Dolly going through, right? What does someone say to you, even to write my condolences? I was like, it seems so fake. Like, we don't know what to say. Nobody knows that grief, right? When you've suffered 2 blows in 2 months like that.
Yes. Even for my husband's time, we were absolutely numb. There was no reaction. We just went through the motion of doing the funeral and getting things done. But my son's loss was like so deep that anything after that was just numbing. It was just, I didn't feel, we just went through it.
Wow. And you have another son, right?
I do. And that was the child that made me turn around. Because after all this, my health deteriorated and I was in emergency a few times.
Oh boy.
The third time when I was in emergency, I just woke up and then I saw my son on a chair next to me and he was dozing. And I just looked at his face and I said to myself, like, oh my God, I have another son. And what if something happens to me? He's just lost his father, his brother, and something happens to me. Just that hit me so hard. And then I said to myself, you know what? I have to shape up. I have to take control of myself.
Yeah.
I have to live for my son. I have to live for him. And that was a turning point when I realized that I have to do something to get out of this.
Yeah. It doesn't make that easy. That decision doesn't make the grief go away. It doesn't make the pain go away.
No.
Right? But it makes you strong. It gives you a reason to live.
Correct.
Perhaps that was the straw that gave you some hope.
It did.
Because you just needed something.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. And he needed me too. So
right.
It was my realization of the fact that, yes, I've lost a son, but I still have another son.
Yeah.
And I have to live for him. And so that kind of made me think hard at my life and what was going on and how do I come around. So that was my turning point. It was my younger son.
Right. So now, it's been 3 years, right? Obviously, the pain doesn't get less. It just evolves, right? Mm-hmm. Every birthday goes by, every anniversary goes by. How do you deal with it?
So it's something, that pain is very strong and it's buried inside you. And certain moments like birthdays or holidays, it comes up, it surfaces up again. And you just burst out crying and you cry your heart out and then you move on. But it's important to let go of your emotions too. So previously I would not celebrate anything. But recently I decided, no, it's okay to do the holidays or to do the birthdays. And if you feel like crying, you just cry. Right. Because this is something that's within you. You're carrying it with you. Right. And it's going to be with you throughout your life. It's just that there will be strong moments when it's going to be very strong. And there'll be other moments when you'll be able to suppress it.
Yes.
But it will be there. But that doesn't mean that we stop doing other things. So if it's my son's birthday, I will want to celebrate it. If it's Christmas, I do want to set up the decorations. I want to do that. I want to invite friends. I want to spend time. Because my thing is, I'm going to live for the living.
That is what I admire about you the most, right? Because I see that despite what has happened or what life has put forward, how you have dealt with it. You do karaoke, you're singing. I see your pictures with friends. As hard as those moments are, right? Because sometimes, even when you're laughing, you realize the pain that you've gone through and you're like, wait, should I be laughing? Mm. Right? But you made that as a seamless as seamless as can be, of a transition. So what gives you that drive to get up that day and go to meet a friend
Right.
when you were not in the mood to do it?
So basically, when anyone has gone through this kind of pain, a loss of a family member or a loved one, it is very hard, and you never forget it.
You never forget it.
So what happens is you kind of get depressed, and really, what is depression? It's lack of energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you lack energy to do anything that you want to do, even little things like getting out of bed or getting dressed or taking your car and going out or talking to someone. So you don't want to do that because you don't have that energy. So you avoid doing all that. As a result, you're going into kind of a depression.
Right. Yep.
So really, depression is lack of energy.
Mm.
So then you think about it and you feel that, okay, how am I going to get back this energy that I have lost?
Okay.
And to get that energy back, you focus on things that you want to do, that you like doing. And you think about what makes me happy. I love singing.
Yeah.
That makes me really happy. But it could be anything for anyone. It could be gardening or painting or dancing or traveling, whatever it is. You try to identify that element that makes you happy. So once you identify that, then you do it. And when you do it, it gives you that boost of energy because you're happy. So that boost is so important, and that will keep you going. So you will feel like dressing out, you will feel like getting out, you will feel like meeting people. And that's exactly what I did. It was my music that gave me that energy.
But your dressing sense, right? From the day I met you to you are completely put together all the time.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Put together all the time. Every time I've seen your pictures, how do you do that? That energy, right? To get dressed. And most of us walk out, and most of us don't take that much effort in looking good every day. You seem to do that consistently.
Right.
What is it that drives you, despite the loss that has happened, that you say, you know what? No, I'm going to get up.
Right.
And I'm going to make this an opportunity to live today because I got this day.
Right. So basically, you're like a warrior, and you want to put your best face forward, right? So when you're going out into the world, you don't want people to have pity on you. You don't want them to think, poor Dolly.
Right.
I can't stand that.
Right.
So it's always like, I don't want to be poor Dolly. I want to be, that's Dolly.
Right.
My
That's
own
awesome.
personality.
And you know why? You know why you're here? Because that's Dolly. That's why you're here. And I thought to myself all the time, I really love her spirit.
So that's it, because I didn't want to be identified as that person who lost a son and then lost a husband. I wanted to be that person that this is the person after going through all this is come out and is helping others and is an example for others. But really, that's always my focus, that I want to help others, especially if they're gone through something like I have, or any pain or any, I want to be with them because I can relate to them. So that has become my priority. I like to do that with people. I have been learning music.
Nice.
I have a very nice teacher, Mr. Bobby Chatterjee in Edison.
Nice.
He's an amazing guy, wonderful person, has been so patient and has encouraged me and supported me all through. So I started learning, and that's the best time of my week when I go for my music class.
Yes.
But more than that, we started a group, our own karaoke group,
Nice.
and it's called Staying Alive.
Oh, very nice. How appropriate.
Yes.
How
So we want to
appropriate.
show people that in order to stay alive, you need to have a hobby. If you like singing, this is it. Come to the Karaoke Club that we've started. I started it in my own basement,
Nice.
and we've been encouraging people to sing. And I help them, pick a song, pick the karaoke track for them, show them how to hold the mic. And then a lot of them have said to me, it's because of you I'm holding a mic. It's because of you I'm singing. It's because of you I'm enjoying. And I feel so good, because it's not because of me. It's because it's in them.
Right.
They had not discovered it.
Right.
And I'm just helping them find that this will make you happy. It will
Yes.
give you true happiness. I can't express it in words. But if I make them do it, they're going to realize what
That's
happiness it has given them, because it gave me a lot of happiness.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, so it's really cool, and I feel happy when people tell me that, because of you, I started singing. I never used to sing before. So I said, really, see, now you feel happy, now you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
And that is really amazing. That really makes me happy too.
Yeah, you're leading the horse to water.
Yes.
So they can drink it.
Yes.
Right? But did you ever think that this is how you were going to deal with your grief?
First of all, I didn't even think that I would get such kind of
Right,
grief.
of course.
It never occurred to me.
You'd never wish that on anybody.
And I truly, no parent should have to go through this. No parent should have to go through this.
Yeah.
But again, no, you don't think. It just comes about. It just, when you want to be happy and you feel what makes me happy, and then you feel, I found my happiness, let me share this happiness with others.
Yeah.
They'll find it too. So that's how it just evolved. And I have met some really amazing people who are like-minded, and we spend hours together. Nobody gets bored. We enjoy it, and it's just so much fun.
Yeah, and I'm sure in that group, a lot of people have their own issues, right? But they come there and they forget it for a few hours. You make people happy, and then they go home.
Yes.
And that's their joy for the day or for the week.
Right.
So what an amazing accomplishment. And again, I will say that's Dolly, right? Not poor Dolly, but that's Dolly. That is what the essence of life is, right? So that if you have something, if you have a void, you help other people so you don't realize.
Yeah. And you do it for yourself.
Yeah.
You're not doing it for anyone because it makes you happy.
Yes.
So you do it for yourself.
But in that process, you're helping someone else.
True.
And I wanted to share your story because I think you are such a strong woman to say to someone that, you know what, I had this happen, but this is how I metamorphosized my life to do this and help someone else. That's really very amazing.
Thank you.
Dolly, I want to thank you so much for coming to us.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you for bringing me on your show. I'm really impressed by the way you are handling it and the way you've brought in so many other women who have issues and how they've overcome their issues. It's just a process that we can share with each other.
Yes.
Especially being a woman with other women. It just makes you feel like there are other people in this world like you who've gone through maybe even more.
Absolutely.
And you just help each other. And when they hear it from someone they know, a common person, I think they can relate to it more.
Yes.
And they can get that strength.
Yes.
If she can do it, I can do it. So that
absolutely
is really what we want to do.
You are a typical warrior of Soul Talks with Alka. We say that they're warriors. Dolly is a warrior. And I have to say, this is Dolly Fernandez. Dolly, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you again, Alka.
We appreciate you
so
coming.
much.
Thank you.
Good luck to you, and I wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much. Thank you.